Have you ever picked up a brand new camera and stared at all the buttons and dials and just thought, what even is all this? You scrolled through YouTube, saw terms like aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, and felt like you needed a photography degree just to take a decent photo, right? Well, stop there, because today we're going to demystify all of that. By the end of the video, you're going to not only understand aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, but more importantly, you're going to know exactly how to use them to get the photos you want. Whether that's beautifully blurred background, perfectly frozen action, or a vibrant shot in low light. This isn't just about a theory. It's about practical, actionable steps to unlock your camera's potential. Think of your camera settings as a delicate balancing act, often called as the exposure triangle. These three settings, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, work together like buddies to control how much light hits your camera sensor. Get them right, and you get a perfectly exposed image. Get them wrong, and your photo's either too dark, too bright, or just, not what you envision, not what you wanted. Understanding this triangle is the foundation of great photography. Let's start with aperture. Imagine your camera lens like your eye. Aperture is simply the opening inside your lens that lets light in. We measure aperture using something called f-stop, like f-stop 2.8, 8, or 16. But here's the kicker. A smaller f-stop number like f-stop 2.8 means a wider opening, letting in more light. Wider openings create the beautiful blurred background effect, and it's perfect for portraits. Conversely, a larger f-stop number like f-stop 16 means a smaller opening, letting in less light, keeps more of your image in focus, from your foreground to your background, and is mainly ideal for landscapes or group photos where you want everyone and everything to be sharp. So think of small f-stop numbers like 2.8, wide open, more light, shallow depth of field, but blurry background. Larger f-stop numbers like f-stop 16 or higher, narrow openings, less light, deep depth of field, meaning everything in focus. A pro tip is if you want that blurry background look from lenses with smaller f-stop numbers, these are called fast lenses. Next up is shutter speed. This is exactly how it sounds like. It's how long your camera's shutter stays open, exposing the sensor to light. It's measured in seconds or fraction of seconds, like 1/1000th of a second, 1/60th of a second, or even 2 seconds. A fast shutter speed, 1/1000th of a second, means the shutter opens and closes super quickly. This is go-to for freezing action. Think of mainly like sports, kids running, or splashing water. It stops time. On the other hand, a slow shutter speed, like 1/30th of a second or longer, means the shutter stays open for a long duration. This introduces motion blur. This is a great artistic effect for like silky smooth waterfalls, light trails from cars at night, or convey movement in a scene. Some key takeaways from shutter speed is fast shutter speed like 1/500th of a second or higher, freeze motion, less light comes in. Slow shutter speed like 1/60th of a second or slower, motion blur, more light. Warning. When using slow shutter speed, even tiny shakes can cause blur. That's where a tripod becomes your best friend. Finally, we have ISO. This one is often misunderstood. ISO refers to your camera's sensor sensitivity to light. Think of it as artificially brighten your image after the light has hit the sensor. Lower ISO numbers like 100 to 200 means less sensitive, while higher ISO numbers are like 1600 to 6400 means more sensitivity. Here's the catch though. While increasing your ISO brightens your image in low light, it also introduces something called noise or grain. This looks like tiny colored speckles in your photo and can degrade your image quality. So the general rule of thumb for ISO is keep it as low as possible for your cleanest image quality. Summary. Low ISO like 100 to 400. Cleanest image, less sensitive to light, requires more from aperture and shutter speed. High ISO like 800 and above, brighter images in low light, more noise, more grain. You want a blurry background, low f-stop. If you open your aperture wide, like f2.8, you're letting in a lot of light. You'll likely need to compensate by using a faster shutter speed to avoid overexposure. Keep your ISO as low as possible. You are shooting a fast-moving subject. fast shutter speed. If you set up a super fast shutter speed, like 1/1000 of a second, you're letting in a little light. So you likely need to compensate by opening your aperture wider, like a smaller f-stop number, or increasing your ISO, or even both, to get enough light to get that perfect photo. Start an aperture priority because that's also a really good priority, like AV or A. This lets you control your aperture. The camera controls your shutter speed. Great for learning depth of field, and I use it a lot. It's amazing. Try shutter priority, like TV or S. You can control your shutter speed, but the camera controls the aperture. Ideal for freezing or blurring action. Experiment. Don't be afraid to change settings and see kind of what happens. Look at your LCD screen. After each shot, practice in different lighting condition. What works outdoors in bright sun will definitely not work be in indoors and at night. That's how you learn, is keep practicing. Let's quickly hit some common mistakes and how you can fix them. If a photo is too dark, it's mainly because it's underexposed. You either need to increase your ISO or use a wider aperture number, like smaller f-stop, or use a slow shutter speed. Photo is too bright, means overexposed. Decrease your ISO. Use a narrower aperture, like a larger f-stop number, or use a faster shutter speed. Photo is blurry, camera shake. Use a faster shutter speed or a tripod. The subject is blurry, but the background is sharp. Too narrow. Aperture for portraits. Use a wider aperture, a smaller f-stop number. Photos are grainy or noisy. Your ISO is too high. Try to get more light from your aperture or shutter speed, or find better lighting, and then you have it. Remember, photography is a journey, not a destination. These 3 settings are your fundamental tools to create stunning images. Now it's your turn. Grab your camera, switch to auto mode, and start experimenting. Maybe AV mode, or maybe TV mode, and if you're really advanced, manual mode. Try taking the photo, but just one setting at a time. You'll be amazed at the control you gain. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more photography tips. And let me know in the comments below what other camera settings and photography topics you want to learn about. Thank you so much for listening, and have an amazing day.